Hi. Yes, I'm still manically ferrying the horses up and down to CSU Reproductive Services, which is why I haven't been doing so many videos. But anyway, just logged on, saw this one. Question from Rachel says, I quite recently discovered my eating disorder is very much linked to my attachment issues. Do you have any thoughts on how I can overcome my fear of abandonment and no longer require anorexia to communicate your needs? Well, first of all, I wonder, you say you quite recently discovered your eating disorder is linked to your attachment issues. So that feels like something a therapist would tell you. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not true, but I'm going to question that. I think that eating disorders are generally a lot more biological than that. I think that it could be one of those unproductive fear-based thoughts that comes into your head of like, well, if I gain weight and I'm okay, then nobody has to look after me. And that's why I should keep having an eating disorder. But I don't give that much more weight than the sort of unproductive fear-based thoughts that are like, well, if I don't have an eating disorder, I won't know what to do with my time, which people get all the time. I feel that a lot of the time we have those thoughts and they are just unproductive fear-based thoughts. They're our brains trying to come up with another reason why we shouldn't do the scary thing and gain weight. And I think that when a therapist hears them, they sort of jump all over them and put far too much time and energy into them, when really what you should be doing is think, that's a really stupid thought. I should probably stop my brain thinking that by ignoring it. The other thing is that if you look at it like logically, it is a dumb thought, because there is nothing that's going to get you abandoned faster than having an eating disorder. That's why so many people with eating disorders are really lonely, is because we're not easy to be friends with or have a relationship when you have an eating disorder. And so deep down that it's not even effective. If you have abandonment, if you have fear of abandonment, it's really not effective. Probably the only people that don't abandon you most of the time are your parents, and if you married your spouse. That's because they can't. But they think about it all the time. But I mean, I shouldn't laugh, it's not funny, but it's just the irony, isn't it? And I don't mean this to sound unsensitive. Like I'm not writing off what you're saying. I do, but I do feel that I think that you have these thoughts around abandonment and sort of like, well, if I recover, then no one's going to need to look after me and this, that, and the other. But what I'm saying is I just think that those thoughts are generated because your brain is just clutching at straws, looking for things that can scare you off doing the scary thing that it's afraid of, which is gaining weight and doing recovery, if you see what I mean. And I think that all of us have those similar sorts of thoughts that are unique to us. Like another one example for me was that if I stopped running, then I would break my sort of streak of running every day for 6 years or however many years it was. I mean, it's just the stupidest thought ever, but my brain's just producing thoughts to put me off stopping running. There's just so many things like that a lot of the ones people get are attached to the identity of having an eating disorder. Well, everybody knows me with the person with the eating disorder, so I can't recover because I wouldn't have an identity anymore. I mean, that's the most fucked up thought ever. But all of us have it. When we contemplate eating disorder recovery, your brain's just throwing stuff out to go like, don't do that, don't do it. You don't want to do recovery. You really don't want to do recovery. It's awful. You just don't want to do it. Our brain's just throwing stuff out to make us question our decision to do recovery. And if you sort of decide to stop ignoring the attachment and abandonment thoughts that your brain's throwing out, it'll throw out another one. Oh, you can't stop walking because who will walk the dog? Who will walk the dog? Just stuff that if you look at it individually, you're like, that's a stupid fucking thought. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Hope it helps. Maybe it won't. Your therapist probably hates me. Sorry. Bye.